Questionable authority here in Airway Heights, Washington, bring you some cop watching. I came upon this scene on the side of the road in Airway Heights and noticed the man getting handcuffed by this order follower. I'm not sure what happened, and I stopped as soon as was safe to get out and go film. This couple appeared to have been just walking down the road. I'm not sure what this state extortionist stopped to question them for. I tried to talk to the woman after she left the scene, but she seemed a little shaken even when the camera was off and down. I gave her my contact info, a citizen's right pamphlet, and explained I was there to hold the cop accountable. This did calm her down a bit. I then explained to her the booklet I gave her was about our inherent rights. Inherent rights are not bestowed upon us by an authoritarian state like our Bill of Rights in the U.S. I mean, think about it, folks. If our Constitution is so grand, why did they have to amend it? If our rulers can amend the Constitution to give us rights, they can just as easily amend it to take away our rights. These inherent rights are not granted to us by a piece of paper. Our rights to defend ourselves, speak freely, and live our lives in a way that does not physically hurt anyone else or their property are bestowed upon us by being born. Now I'll move on to my second topic for this video. The vehicle being used by this order follower has a blocked front license plate. This is an example of more blue privilege in action. I have read about or heard several stories in Washington where people were pulled over by these order following thugs for having blocked front plates. They use it as a reason to pull us over and extort money from us for this victimless crime. Then they try to interrogate, looking for more victimless violations of rules written on paper by authoritarian government bodies looking to control and rule over us. I am reminded of Frederic Bastiat and his writing, The Law. He writes, "The law perverted, and the police powers of the state perverted along with it. The law, I say, not only turned from its proper purpose, but made to follow an entirely contrary purpose. The law became the weapon of every kind of greed. Instead of checking crime, the law itself guilty of the evils it is supposed to punish. If this is true, it is a serious fact, and moral duty requires me to call the attention of my fellow citizens to it. In Washington state, it is illegal to use holders, frames, or other materials that change, alter, or make a license plate or plates illegible. The relevant RCW is 46.16a.200. Now keep in mind, any good authoritarian state always makes exceptions to the rules for themselves and their friends. According to the RCW, there are exceptions for vehicles not equipped with a front plate holder. In subsection 5B of this RCW, it explains the Washington State Patrol may grant exceptions to this subsection if the body construction of the vehicle makes compliance with this section impossible. I'm guessing this is where multiple extortion agencies, otherwise known as law enforcement, get the idea it's okay for them to have the front plate on these bigger trucks and SUVs blocked. I'm guessing they would say the construction of the vehicles makes compliance impossible, even though putting a different grille guard on the front of the vehicle would solve the problem. They don't seem to have the same issues with patrol cars and smaller SUVs. Why can't they find guards that allow the license plates to be seen on all of their vehicles? To me, all of these government-owned vehicles should have license plates clearly marked front and back. Every time I have contacted authorities in Washington about law enforcement vehicles being improperly marked, or unmarked for that matter, they always ask me the license plate number. How am I to give that information if the front plate is not visible and I can't view the rear plate? Again, this is just another example of law enforcement being above the laws they claim to enforce. More blue privilege. It's rampant in this state. Extortionists convincing sheeple it's okay for them to break laws they enforce on the people. They try to convince us it's for our safety. How can they catch those nasty criminals perpetrating victimless crimes on society if cops also follow the law? The sad thing is, most sheeple appear to be happy giving up their inherent rights and freedom for security. Another thought from Bastiat on this subject: It is impossible to introduce into society a greater change and a greater evil than this: the conversion of the law into an instrument of plunder. I think that's what we have going on here. Correct me if I'm wrong though, folks. It's time we as people take a stand against these extortionist lawbreakers. Let's make them subject to the same laws we are subject to. They don't hold themselves accountable. It's our job to do so. I hope you enjoyed my commentary. Please like this video and share it with everyone you know. It's time to wake up the sheeple and start living free again. I believe in a world with no rulers, and voluntary communities is the way to a better and free life. I choose dangerous freedom every day over the safety of being controlled by rulers. The ruling class creates conflicts and divides us all by creating privileges and doling them out in ways beneficial to preserve their authority. Thanks for checking out another Questionable Authority video. Feel free to share our content with everyone you know to get the word out. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook as well to stay connected. Links are in the description and on the screen now. Until next time, question everything and be a positive influence on somebody's life each and every day. It's as simple as a smile as you pass by.